Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. Before I get started on US and global update for what's going on in the world, I just wanted to spend a few minutes of time on this video looking at the US stimulus package. There's been some really heavy questions around the $500 billion fund for corporation and business. As a result of Democratic Party interventions, there will be a small body oversighting that fund, but there are grave questions coming forward given the White House and the Trump government's history of obstruction, not handing over documents. What is the potential there for misuse of that money? I also, of course, it's been called in the media a slush fund. Remains to be seen whether that's the case. Obviously, business as employers need the bailout, just like individuals do, just like health systems, hospitals, states. However, what concerns me with that $500 billion package is that when I threw on it earlier in the week when I read with Lena, I saw that there would be investigations, that there would be trouble ahead for that particular fund. So let's just drill down on that, and then I want to take a look at the latest opinion polls on how Trump is handling this emergency unfolding conditions here that we find ourselves in. His approval rating has gone to, not his approval rating, not his overall approval rating, simply how he's handling this virus. There's around 53% who approve. So we'll take a look at that. All right, so let's have a look at the stimulus fund. I'm using my Anna K Tarot. Let's have a look at whether or not it's going to be misused. That's really the question. Well, no, first of all, will it go through? Because there are some Republicans also questioning the assistance measures for individuals, for the unemployed. I think it is around insurance. But there are also, they're saying that the incentives in the stimulus package mean that it's someone who doesn't work is better off financially than what they do. And they're saying that's a disincentive to work. So that's one area that the bill might have to come back and go through some more drafting. But also we have House Democrats also saying that they're not satisfied with the $500 billion package for corporations and how that might be used or misused. Now, the leaders of both parties are trying to call for a consensus, but of course congressional representatives will do what they need to do and do that according to their conscience. So let's have a look if it will go through. We'll start with that. So I don't think it's through yet. The House needs to take a vote. And one particular member, AOC, is saying that she might even call for an open and transparent voting, which would mean representatives would need to come back to Congress. So not a done deal yet. Let's have a look. All right. Will the US stimulus package go through? Will it go through? Will the US stimulus package go through? Of course it will, but will it go through without delay? Will the US stimulus package go through without delay? I don't think it, let's just have a look. Six of Swords, we've got moving out of troubled waters as the signifier card, so it's definitely going through. The challenge is unity, teamwork, coming together. So there's still this disparate members here who may still want to have their say around just redrafting. The foundation of the reading, which is always the strength, is the Ace of Pentacles. And so this is around the money, getting the money flowing. So it's definitely going through. There has been a crossroads, decision time. It's worrying when things are put together so quickly, and this was my feeling in my reading earlier on in the week in regards to that assistance, that 500. It's actually 500. Is it 500 billion? Yes, it is. So we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is financial resources. This is having what you need. That is in the potential. that's also luxury. That's also there is an idea here that those who have money could be helped even further. So, is this bill a balanced package? The Seven of Rods or Wands tells me that in the immediate future there's still some haggling to be done. The Here in the here and now there seems to be some sort of abuse of power going on here. This is what I was picking up earlier on in the week. The environment around, of course, is objectivity. This is my card for the house. So I feel that if it's going to be held up in any way or questioned, this would be in the house. Let's have a look. The Ten of Cups, the hope is that it will help families, but there seems to be it more weighted toward the business end. The Wheel of Fortune, yes, it will go through, and it will make a difference. It will actually deliver what it's meant to deliver, but it also will be reviewed. Some part will be reviewed. The Seven of Pentacles. This is when you're not going to achieve your harvest, and you need to go back to the drawing board. This is what I want to follow up, because I feel that yes, it will go through. There is the house. There's more. There's something likely to go on with the house. They're worried, or they're trying to stop this abuse of power. But let's have a look. Three of Swords. This is loss and heartbreak. This is the virus, the environment the virus is creating. We have endings and beginnings, and of course we have the Four of Swords, unfortunately. So that's what the base of the pack is, what is happening now. So I feel we do have the Page of Swords here, and we do have the Seven of Cups. So I feel that there is the Seven of Cups is always around this illusionary nature. It's around where we've got this temptation to do other things. It's around where we've got to make really good choices, but we're not seeing clearly enough to make those choices. And of course, as I said, the speed of which this bill was put together, and the pressure on the Democratic Party to push it through. Now, the Senator Chuck Schumer is saying that he's got the appropriate oversight. However, early reporting now is suggesting that the small body set up to oversee that $500 billion fund, let's just call it the fund for corporations, if the current government wanted to hold back documents, we've already seen that during an impeachment process they can. So show me, let's just have a look. Will this $500 billion fund be transparent and accountable? Will the $500 billion fund for business be transparent and accountable? Will the $500 billion fund be transparent and accountable? The Six of Rods, it certainly is a victory. And this also tells me that there could, and this is what came up in my reading, in Lena and my reading the other day, that there could have been tit for tat favours promised in order to support or fund Trump's re-election campaign. That's the victory. It is a big victory for Donald Trump. In fact, that's Donald Trump there. Okay, so that's the signifier card. Let's have a look at the challenge. The Two of Pentacles, the economy as well. But this is also Trump. This is around the polls, having the support that he needs to get re-elected. That's interesting because I'm getting a real draw to favours, calling in favours or doing things for certain segments of the economy in return for something, in return for money, I think. The Nine of Rods is the foundation. So this is a fatigue and exhaustion. This is wounded in battle. I'm getting more drawn to Donald Trump's re-election campaign here. The Temperance card, the need for balance or perhaps an imbalance in the past. Yep, the King of Rods. This is leadership stepping forward. This is the congressional representatives. I feel could also even be the courts. So there could be something come up in the future. Let's keep going. We've got the voter here, the Ten of Cups, ordinary families. So I feel that the Democratic Party were trying to get things through for ordinary families, but we're talking about this. We're talking about the slush fund, the $500 billion fund. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. It will improve things. So there is a measure here of improvement for small business and corporations and larger business, which I think will flow on. Yes, it will flow on to the economy and try and hold back the dam here. So not all of this fund is should be wiped off and considered a slush fund. It's actually going to do some good and provide corporations with hope here. Let's see the outcome. But the outcome, and this is what bothers me, it's how it will be administered, because we've got the devil here. Greed and avarice, unfortunately, and secrets being kept. Wow. This was my hunch here, the Ten of Pentacles, going to the moneyed elite. This is also the Trump Organization and everything that Trump represents. There's something, okay, this is my hunch. Within that $500 billion package for business, there is something hidden there. There are levers here that we don't know about. It will, let's be clear about this, it will help business, and that will do a lot of good. But the devil, unfortunately, will be in the detail or lack of the detail, because we've got the Moon card here. This is secrets. This is hiding something. Did the Democrats do as well as what they did in trying to get accountability and transparency? They, with more time, without the current situation, they could have done better, because this was almost holding their feet to the flame. The Four of Swords. The Page of Swords is showing, that they were almost under attack. Of course, they were being gaslighted for holding up the bill. But we've also got restriction here, the Eight of Swords, and worry. I feel that the Democratic Party are not the only ones worried about how this huge amount of taxpayer dollars are going to be expended, because I do have the Ace of Swords here and the Five of Cups, which is loss. And I also have the Page of Cups. So I do feel that further down the track, this fund and how it is being administered will be questioned. With that Devil card, let's just see what's going on there. Because I felt yesterday that there was some Monday, I felt there was some kind of deceit around this $500 billion fund. It will do a lot of good, but there is something else there that's hidden. Perhaps who it's going to, who will be bailed out, and what sort of trade-off there is there for Trump, because I feel that there is around his victory in 2020 in November. We saw in our reading earlier on in the week that big business has definitely had a say in what's in this package. So will there be investigations as to how this money was expended in the future? Will there be investigations? Let me just give the pack a good, I'll just cut that. Will there be investigations in the future as to how this $500 billion fund was administered, rolled out, who it went to, what it was used for, whether there was good governance or appropriate checks and balances? Will it come to light that there actually wasn't? Show me that Devil card, please, and the Moon. Show me the Devil and the Moon card. The Four of Rods. So this is the Democrats. That's my card for the Democrats and community. Challenged by, here we go, we've got the King of Swords. So it could even come back onto the Democrats later on as to why this oversight wasn't stronger. The King of Swords is always an investigation. The Five of Rods is partisanship, obstacles and challenges. So I don't feel this is going to go away. I think this part of the stimulus package will be questioned and continue to be questioned. Yep, the Page of Cups is this is surprise, being taken unaware. This could be somebody coming out, even within the Republican Party, and saying, "Look, there isn't the appropriate checks and balances on this." The Hanged Man. This is something going to stall or be suspended. Could even be suspended, or not. There's something around it that's going to be stopped in the future. We've got money loss though, certain people not getting access to it that should get access to it. So here we've got the administration of it. This is what is going to be the problem, where it's going, who's getting it, and particularly who isn't getting it. All right, the King of Cups in the here and now. Of course, the biggest overriding desire is to help with this King of Cups, but this can also be a new president coming in and having to mop up a fairly big mess, because the environment around here is wealth, money. This Ten of Pentacles, it's Trump and everything he stands for. The Three of Cups, again in the hopes and the fears. There's three parties here: big business, Republicans, and Trump. I feel this can also be cover-ups. Yeah. The Magician, actualizing something into reality. Let's see what's the Knight of Pentacles, something moving through slowly. This can also be, it could go to, for example, Trump's, friend, not his friends, but those that are in his inner circle. There's going to have to be a defense here, the Seven of Rods. This is us having to defend something. So I feel that there are questions around the oversight. It's not so much the package. There's no argument that bailouts need to and help needs to go to business and employers and corporations. But there is something here that is going to cause problems further down the track. We've got the Queen of Wands here. She sees the unseen. I feel there's going to be a growing call for greater governance and transparency here. And we've got the Ace of Wands. So this could even be AOC holding her ground too and calling for a vote. There is problems with this part of the stimulus package on Democratic Party feel still. There are still problems. Even though Schumer's got this small body administering it, it's not strong enough. There are not enough checks and balances. And the Page of Swords shows me that there will be this... It's a story that's not going to go away. This Page of Swords is a slow drip of the truth, and so a focus will be put on this. So when the smoke clears, we're likely to see huge problems with this part of the stimulus package. So yes, it will do a lot of good. It will help. It's needed. But how it's administered, who it goes to, who it doesn't go to, the checks and balances, there are still problems there with that. And it is likely to come back. It's a story that's just going to keep going because there's not sufficient transparency and governance there. All right, let's move to the opinion polls. People have been asking me how, when Trump is is mishandling the response to this virus. How on earth can his opinion poll be 53% approve of the handling? This is a president who's saying, let's get back to work by Easter. I'll just have a sip of my coffee before it goes cold. So this is the president saying, let's get back to work by Easter. This is a one-man reality show, TV show now, through his daily briefings, and the lies are dangerous. We had two people, one person die and another person critically ill when they consumed the malaria medication, or a form of it, after a recommendation or Trump spruiking about it. So his words have real consequences. Show me this opinion poll. We know in the past the opinion polls have been manipulated. We know that. This is one of his campaign strategies. That he somehow rigs that. Cohen, his former lawyer, told us that this was what he did. Let's see. Is this opinion poll? Show me this. Is this opinion poll? Do 53% approve? Is this opinion poll to be trusted? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. The Knight of Pentacles, okay, this is the merchant card. This is the hired help here. So one wonders what's been going on within the Trump campaign to try and influence this poll. But let's keep going. The environment around that is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so this would tell me there could be some campaign activity here in trying to influence this poll. However, this is also people perhaps picking up a few percentage points because of the I guess the global emergency that is faced. One of my viewers sent me through a story which shows that all presidents in the time of disasters, global threats, national threats, seem to pick up a few percentage points. I think George W. Bush Jr. Actually, his approval rate after 9/11 soared to 80%. So there is an element here of that, and also people anticipating a stimulus package. However, this is something else as well. I feel the energy here is something else. Let's see what this reading is going to show us. Yes, the Moon card. There are a whole swathe of potential voters who weren't contacted. This is something being hidden as well. I would say that there could have been some influence here on that poll. The Temperance card in the past, a balancing, a rebalancing. This is the energy that we're moving through, where we're moving, I guess, into a transparency, an illumination, just who is who, and what has gone on. The truth is emerging. This is the balance that we're trying to get back to. There's something, can I just say, something a bit dodgy here about this poll. The Eight of Pentacles, again, money in, money out. It's almost like they've paid some people to respond. Pardon me. They've paid some people to respond. Here we go. Here he is, the Lovers card, Donald Trump. That's where he wants to be. He wants people to love him. The Hermit. This is isolation, review. People are reassessing things. This is the here and now. The Knight of Rods. This is a movement away from Donald Trump as the light bulb goes on and people understand just where he's landed everyone and where he's dragged everyone. The Ten of Cups is the voter in the hope position. The outcome, the Four of Pentacles. This, of course, is holding on to something. This is insecurity. This is almost Trump. Okay. The Four of Rods. What's he insecure about? The Democratic Party winning in 2020 and the King of Swords. He's also insecure about investigation. Um, Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic Party. We've got messages, headlines with this Eight of Wands, things coming through very speedily. And we've got the Six of Pentacles, loans and debts. This is the stimulus package. And we've also got illusion and delusion. But we've also got the liar as well in the Seven of Swords. So I feel that they could have even paid some people to respond to this poll. There's something with this moon card here. There's some kind of secret. And it's around his insecurity that somehow he's, not enough. He could lose in 2020. That the Democrats are gaining a foothold. It's just this insecurity, but also around the investigations. This is a game of chess with him. So opinion poll, 53%. It may have risen a few percentage points, but there is also something a little bit sus about this poll. All right, let's have a look at how he's going with. Now let's see if is he going to withhold money from the states based upon whether or not, is he going to use this to effectively blackmail states? Is this some kind of quid pro quo? I'll give you what you want if you support me. Is he capable of that? Is Trump going to withhold money from Democratic voting states? Yes. Okay, making it more difficult for them to get what they need. All right, is Trump going to withhold money from Democratic voting states? This package, this stimulus package, unfortunately, is going to be quite controversial. The Queen of Rods. Okay, so this is telling me she sees the unseen. This was my card for the midterm, the Democratic Party in the midterm, rising through inspiration and passion. So he sees someone like Governor Cuomo as a threat because he's getting the people behind him. All right, that's the signifier card. The Knight of Rods. This came through when he was impeached, but this is also the growing move away from him. Pundits have said this is Biden's election to lose if Biden becomes the Democratic Party nominee for 2020. This is what Trump sees, and this is what is the signifier cards. Let's keep going. Is he going to try and make it more difficult for states to get what they need? This is the Two of Pentacles. This is the juggler that decides which ship perishes on the rocks and which one gets through to safe harbour. So that is also a card of manipulation as well. So as I felt, if he's not going to withhold money, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for them to get what they need. This is the Queen of Pentacles who controls the purse strings. Oh my goodness me. Ten of Swords, the potential. This is downfall, being stabbed in the back. Dark Night of the Soul. These aren't good cards. And in the immediate future, we've got restriction of some sort. So the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Swords are showing me straight away the Two of Pentacles. Something is not quite right here. The Ace of Swords, truth, clarity, objectivity, perhaps coming through the states more so than your federal government. The Page of Swords. It's like he doesn't like what he's hearing. When he sees them speak, it bothers him. It just makes him. It takes away from what he wants. He wants to be in the limelight. We've got the hopes and fears. So we've got the Congress here, the High Priest, the Congress. So that's the hope that Congress will have this oversight. But it is I won't use the word flimsy oversight on that $500 billion for corporations. So again, This could also put pressure. Okay, now I'm seeing what's going on. The administration and the rollout, giving money to those that have it, holding it back from those who perhaps aren't Trump supporters, will put pressure on governors who are also financed, whose re-election campaigns are also financed. Will put pressure on them as well. So yes, is the answer here. We've got the Three of Cups coming forward again. The Republicans, the Trump White House, Trump and the White House, or the Trump government, the Republican Party, and we've also got big business here as well. The Tower. Okay. Yeah, the stimulus package is going to, there's going to be some fairly harsh truths emerge. It seems like for Trump, he's going to trip him up. It's going to trip him up in some way. Whatever he's done with this stimulus package is going to come back to bite him. Okay, we've got the Two of Cups because this is a time for unity. It's not a time when they should be playing with taxpayers' money in this way. This is all geared toward his re-election in 2020. The Magician card, the dirty trickster, actualizing something into reality. The Three of Swords, loss, betrayal, heartbreak, and a call for rebalancing. You haven't heard, and the Justice card is what I'm seeing. This is coming back to bite him big time in the near future. It is whatever he's done, whatever they've done with that stimulus package, we haven't heard the last of it yet. So the good news is that like in Australia, people will be getting money to help and income support. And various measures that the Democratic Party really did work hard and try hard to get and renegotiate that bill. But there's big parts of that bill, particularly in that $500 billion, that doesn't have enough checks and balances on it. We're going to hear about it in the next little while. So that's the Trump reading for today. I'll move on now in the next video to a broader global update. Thank you.